Hi everyone, my name is Mustafa Sheikh. I am a photographer and a travel blogger based in Dubai. If you are not already familiar with my work, you can check it on my Instagram, the link is in the description. Today I will take you through my workflow in Lightroom and how I edit my photos for Instagram in Lightroom just using very basic tools, and how you can edit your photos just in 5 minutes getting beautiful colors just by very basic tools. Let's get behind the screen. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom in the develop module, and we have this photo of me from Cape Town. First thing I would do is make a duplicate of it, and why I do that always is that you can see that after we are done editing, you can see the difference between the original and the duplicate. There's another way to see that by hitting backslash, but easier way is here. You have 2 copies of it. We'll edit the second copy, and real quick, in 5 minutes you'll see how we can just quickly enhance the colors and make it look perfectly to go for Instagram. Now, first thing before you start editing is, the first thing I always do is always analyze the photo. And in this photo we can see there's like a morning scene, like a sunrise kind of scene, and there's a beautiful mountain in the background. We want to keep the emphasis on the person, which is me, and a bit on the mountain. We don't want all this bottom area, which is the sand, too much to be in the focus. So so what we are trying to achieve is a beautiful morning look with a little bit vibrant colors, and how we're going to do that is just by using very basic tools which are over here on top. It's a bunch of tools, these 6 tools over there, very powerful, very easy to use. So I'm just gonna show you how you can just use these tools and make very dull looking photo very beautiful. First things first, we don't want this sand to be too much in focus, so we use this tool, which is the graduated filter, and we drag it from the bottom because we don't want this thing to be in focus. We put a darker filter at the bottom area. So this will automatically be less in focus, and then the rest of the scene will be more visible to the eyes, basically. So when we drag this thing, it has some default values. It increases the clarity, texture. So by double clicking it, we bring it back to default. All the values are back to default, and we have a plain transparent filter applied over here, this graduated filter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease exposure a little bit over here, just to make this foreground a little bit darker, so the eye goes straight to this area where we need the focus to be. Just a little bit, and this much is enough. Click done. Second thing I'm going to do is that I think since it's a morning image, I think we want a little bit of warm light coming in. So we just make the temperature a little bit warmer, a little bit towards the yellow side. As you can see, now it looks a little bit warmer. Nice, beautiful morning light coming in. There's one more thing we will do as we move forward, is we're gonna add a fake sun in here, and I'll show you how easily you can add like a fake sunlight effect to this photo. But before that, or let's get into that. That's like really cool. So for doing that, we use this radial filter, which is this one, the second one from the right hand side, and we drag this radial filter on the photo, something like this, and then we click invert. And this radial filter again comes with some of the default values: increased texture, clarity, and decreased exposure. First, we set all these values to default by double clicking this cursor, right? And now it's back to its default value. And now, using this radial filter brush or radial filter, we are going to use this as sun. This is our fake sun, basically. So we drag it a little bit like here, and then we start increasing the temperature again to give a nice, beautiful, warm light coming in, which gives the effect of sunlight coming in. And let's make it look a little directional, something like that. I'll make the photo a little bit smaller so we can see it, a full view of it. Yeah, I think that's pretty fine. I just can make it a little bit to the red as well. And then we can increase the clarity a little bit and the dehaze, a bit of texture. Yeah, so now we have this kind of fake sunlight coming in. I'll increase the shadows a little bit. And then I click done. Second thing is done. We have some fake sun coming in here. Third thing I would like to do is make the sky a little bit darker, which is kind of something I do in a lot of my photographs. Just make the sky a little bit darker, not too dark. Again, I use this graduated filter again, which I use at the bottom. I use it again on top. And again, resetting the default values back to 0, and then I decrease the exposure just a little bit. So that's it. That's too much. That's it. That's fine. Click done. Now, the contrast is coming in. We can increase it a little bit more contrast over here. We can work on shadows, increase, because shadows is the darker area of any photo. Right? I think right now we can increase light in here, so we increase the shadows a little bit so we can see more of this area and a little bit more over here. Also, we can do the same thing using the blacks, increase the blacks a little bit. Now I want to really work on the blues, right? That's kind of something I love to do in my photographs. Is I always have to have a specific tone of blue, and yeah, and how do I achieve that? I'll just quickly show you. I go down to this panel, the HSL and color panel, and over there I always have my blues a little bit towards the turquoise color, so I move the hue selected and a little bit to the left, right? And now you can see the blue is turned a little bit towards turquoise. Before it was like this, more purplish, and now it's like this. I'm gonna increase a little bit of luminance of it, which means the brightness of any color. And let's see, if you want to increase the saturation, you can do it like this, or I personally actually don't like too saturated blue in all my photographs. Sometimes I really decrease the blue color, so something like that. Right, so that's done. Then same thing for the yellow light coming in, the sunlight. Maybe we can make it a little more warmer, so we move this orange. It was on 0, we move it a little bit towards the orange side, towards the red side, to make it more warm. I still think the blue could be a bit stronger, so I will increase the saturation again. And a little more towards this side. That's a bit too much. Maybe this much is good. Another thing I would do to this is, again, I would increase the contrast just a bit. And maybe this, that's fine. It's a lot of testing and trying. You have to see with all different sliders what is doing what and how you want your photo to look like. I decrease the highlights a little bit so we get more detail in this area. And one more thing you can do is work with split toning. So we can introduce a little bit of gold color in the shadows. How do we do that is with this area. And in the shadows, I like to bring in some blues. So this is the color of the shadow, and this is how much color we want in the shadow, okay? So I'm gonna select a little bit of like this bluish color, something like this. And then I'm gonna control how much I want it. So maybe just this much is enough, yeah. Even that is actually a little bit less, and that's good. Right, we can already see how much better it looks than where we started. And if you want, you can further emphasize the contrast by working on highlights and shadows. But I guess it's fine, good to go. Now, depends on you if you want to work on more details, like I don't like this dirty sand and so on. You can always work in Photoshop. You can remove some of these things in Photoshop if you want to clear it. Now, if you see in the library, we can see the before and after, how this was pretty basic how we shot it, and just a little bit quick enhancement can add a little bit mood to it, more of a warm morning light mood to it. If you want to clear it up, you can also clear these things up in Photoshop, which I'm going to show you in other tutorials as well. So thanks for watching this. I'll be making a lot more tutorials now on my YouTube, from very basic ones to very advanced ones, from Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere, and so on. Subscribe to the channel and check out some of my work on Instagram if you don't follow me on Instagram already. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. Bye-bye.